In this demonstration you will learn how to create a validation viewModel base class that implements the iNotify-data-error-info interface. Let's switch to Visual Studio. Here I've opened the Customers App project that you can download from the course homepage on pluralsight.com. Now let's right-click here the viewModel folder and let's select from the context menu Add Class. Let's give the class the name Validation viewModel base and let's add it to our project. First, let's remove here the unnecessary usings and let's change this to a public class. Now let's inherit this class from viewModel base. In addition, let's implement here the iNotify-data-error-info interface. I press Ctrl dot to add a using directive for the system component model namespace. Now let's press Ctrl dot again to implement this interface in the validation viewModel base class. Now you can see here the three members of this interface. It has an hasErrors property that should return true if the object has errors. Then it has a getErrors method that returns a collection of errors for a specific property. Then it has also an errors changed event that you can raise, and then the data binding will call again this getErrors method. So the interface actually says that you need to provide a collection of errors per property. So let's create here in this class a private field of type dictionary. I press Ctrl dot to add a using directive for the system collections generic namespace. And now let's say you want to store under a property name a list of errors. So let's call this field here errors by property name and let's initialize it with a new dictionary. This field can also be changed to a read-only field as we initialize it directly here. Now you can implement here the hasErrors property. You just return if that errors by property name dictionary contains any elements. I press Ctrl dot to add a using directive for the system link namespace that contains this any method. Now let's also implement the getErrors method. So here the first thing is that you check that property name is not null. And if it's not null, and if the errors by property name dictionary contains actually the property name, then you can return from that errors by property name dictionary the errors for the property name. Else, let's use the enumerable class and let's just return an empty list of string. Now, in addition, let's create an onErrorsChanged method that you can use to raise the errors changed event. So in this class, let's create a protected virtual method that returns void and that has the name onErrorsChanged. As a parameter, let's take these data errors changed event args. So let's specify these and let's call it just e, and then in this method let's use the errors changed event. I check with a question mark that it's not null, and then let's invoke it. Let's invoke it for this instance with the event args that you have received as a parameter. Now this validation viewModel base class implements the iNotify-data-error-info interface. It has here this errors by property name dictionary where it stores the errors. In the next clip, let's add methods to this class that you can call from subclasses to add and remove errors.